Tonight I'm going to be cooking shepherd's pie. It's that time of year where the sun has gone to the other side of the world when you're living in Britain, which means the nights are getting longer, the weather's getting colder, but it also means winter grub, which is my favourite type of food to cook. So that's hearty meals like stews, roast dinners and shepherd's pie. So I'm Claire from Claire's Food Haven. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. I hope you're going to enjoy this meal tonight. So I'm going to make enough here for 2 people. I'm going to need 1 onion, 250 grams of mince, some potatoes, beef stock cube, gravy granules or flour if you prefer. I'm just going to turn the hob up to 4 and put some cooking oil in there. I like to use olive oil. I'm going to get that nice and hot. And the first stage is to chop up the onion. This is quite a big onion. I'll use all of it, that's fine. Just for 2 people this meal, so if you wanted to make it for 4, just double the amounts that I'm showing you here. So I'm just going to peel this onion. And cut it up finely. I'm not doing it the proper way, by the way, folks. There is a proper way of cutting an onion, and this is not it. But it's the way that I've been doing it for many, many years now, and it's hard for me to do it any other way. So my friend kindly showed me the proper way of cutting an onion, which I might make a video about sometime. But for now, I'm just going to cut it like this. And we'll pop that in the frying pan. I'm also going to chop up a clove of garlic to add to that. This garlic has a bad bit on it there, so I'm just going to take that off. I'm also going to add a little bit of salt in with the onion and the garlic into the pan. And give it a stir. The onions and garlic have been cooking for 5 minutes now, smelling really good. Next I'm going to get the meat ready. I'm going to half this, put the other half in the freezer. Put half of it in the frying pan. There's 250 grams, which will be plenty of meat for 2 people. So I'll just put half of it in the pan. And the other half will be going in the freezer. I'm just going to break this up in the frying pan. It needs quite a bit of breaking up. I'm going to cook this mince until it's brown, so I'm going to brown it. The mince has been cooking for a few more minutes, so I'm just breaking it up again. Looking and smelling good. Whilst that's doing, I'm going to slice the mushrooms. You might not want to put mushrooms in with your shepherd's pie, but we like a few mushrooms. You can cut your mushrooms smaller if you like, it's up to you. I don't mind them chunky like that. Let's have a look at that mince. It's coming along nicely. Might be time to add a bit of flavouring into this now. Yeah, that's looking brown all the way through. I'm going to add a little bit of Worcester sauce into this. I use this a lot in our cooking. You might not like it, but we enjoy the flavour. Just a little bit there. A bit of stir. Pop some mushrooms in now, I think. Just stir that in. Might turn the heat down a bit, it's getting a bit hot there. You don't want to burn the mince. You know. That a nice stir. So next I'm going to add in a stock cube. Just going to break the stock cube up whilst it's still in the packet. It's quite a good way of doing this. And then tip that into the cup. Now if you're using gravy granules, you don't need to do this, but if you haven't got gravy granules, at this stage you want to put about a tablespoon of flour into that and mix it all in with your mince. But I like to use gravy granules because I actually like the flavour of them, but you might not like the flavour of gravy granules and you might prefer to do it with flour instead. Whatever you want to do, whatever works for you, you know. So I'm stirring this stock cube in with the boiling water till it's dissolved. There we go. I'm going to add it to the pan now, the meat in it. There we go. And just give that a stir. Now, if you like, you can add some, my mushrooms are pretty chunky there. I should maybe have cut them up a bit finer actually. I can still do that if I want. I'm going to add some frozen peas in with this. Some people like to add a little bit of carrot in with their shepherd's pie. You might want to do that. Just a few. Not too many. Stir them in. There we go. I'm going to leave that to cook for about half an hour. So I'll be back soon to prepare the potatoes for boiling and mashing. So when you're doing your potatoes for the shepherd's pie, you want to make sure that you've got plenty of potato for your topping. So I'm just going to show you how I peel and chop one potato. It's good to use a bowl to put your peelings in. This helps with the mess. Okay, So I've already boiled my kettle of water. I'm going to put this on the hob. Put the water, pour the water on top so that the potatoes are covered, and then they've maybe got about an inch of water over the top of them. And they're going to cook for about 20 minutes. It's been cooking away nicely for about 10 minutes and the water has really reduced down, you can see there. So I'm just going to add a little bit more in the pan. Just a wee bit there. And I've also turned this hob down because that was bubbling away, so I've turned that down to 2 with a lid on it. So I came to see how everything was doing, but the potatoes, I turned them down to 2. It was too low, so I've just turned them back up to 4 again to get them boiling properly. So altogether this has been cooking for a good 25 minutes, half an hour. I'm going to add a little bit extra water in with the mince. I've turned the hob off for the potatoes. Give that a stir, see where we're at. Right, I think that's okay. And now I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons of gravy granules in with this. And give it a stir. See how thick that is, because I want a bit of gravy in with my shepherd's pie. I'm going to be baking it in the oven for about 10 minutes, so this will reduce off a bit further as well. And maybe add a little bit more boiling water in there, a kettle, just a little bit more, and give it a stir, see where we're at. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that's nice and thick. So I'm going to add it into my oven-proof dish. Turn the hob off. Oops, nearly forgot. There we go. Put that into there. I've just turned the oven on as well, put that up to 200. Next I'm going to mash the potatoes and put them on top. I'm going to drain the potatoes and give them a good smash. They're well cooked. Delighted with this new spud masher my wife bought me. We had the same spud masher since we've been together for like 22 years, 23 years, and it broke. So she bought me this new one and it's solid. Very, very excited. It's 23 years we've been together. Crazy. So just give this a good smash. Yeah, that potato masher, it came with us everywhere, you know. I smashed a lot of spuds with it and eventually it broke. This one is much more solid. I don't know, I think it's going to last hopefully a long time. So I've added some butter in with this mashed potato. It's a little bit dry, so I'm going to add a little bit of milk. Get it a bit more creamy. It's looking good. Oh yeah. A bit of stir on the bottom there as well. Maybe get that a bit creamier. So I've got a nice pile of mash there. Now I'm going to spoon it onto this, just pile it on like that, with my spud masher. Now if you want, you can skip this whole stage. You don't have to put it in the oven and go that extra mile. If you like, you could just serve it as it is, mashed potato and mince. It's a great meal. But I'm going to make it properly this evening. I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of cheese on top, but not too much. In the past I made the mistake of putting too much cheese on it, and it was just too much, you know, but we like to have a little sprinkle of cheddar on top of there as well. I'm going to bake it in the oven for a good 10 minutes. Sprinkle that on top. Oh, maybe a bit more. Can I just do it like this? I think I can. There you go. There you go. That's just the right amount of cheese for me. And I'll sprinkle a little bit of salt on top because I think it helps to brown it a little bit when it's in the oven. So I'm just going to pop this in the oven and bake it for about 10-15 minutes. Something that we like to have with our shepherd's pie sometimes are baked beans. Now these are totally optional. We like to serve them on the side. So for 2 people I'm going to put half a tin in the hob there and just put that up to number 3 and heat that gently for about 4 minutes whilst the shepherd's pie is cooking in the oven. I've taken the shepherd's pie out of the oven, turned off the hob for the beans, which are bubbling away nicely, giving them a stir, and now we're going to dish it out. Whoop. So there's plenty of mashed potato there. Looks good. Cheese is melted nicely on top. Oh yeah. So you can see that is like the perfect amount for 2 people. I'm going to add some beans on the side. It smells incredible. I can't wait to get stuck into this. Shepherd's pie with baked beans. Bon appetit.